So on Sunday afternoon, Austin FC would play Real Salt Lake for the fifth time in club history. The last time both teams played against each other was back a month ago, in which Austin FC beat Real Salt Lake in a 3-0 win, in which Moussa Djitté scored all 3 goals and became the first ever Austin FC player to score a hat-trick in club history. But this is not another league game, you guys. This is the 2022 MLS playoffs we're talking about. As Austin FC and Real Salt Lake will play in the first round of MLS playoffs and see who advances to the next round. And this is Austin FC's first ever appearance in the MLS playoffs, but not for Real Salt Lake. This is their 12th appearance in MLS playoffs. Of all the 12 appearances for Real Salt Lake, they only won it once, and that was back in 2009, which they beat the favorites of LA Galaxy, a team that had both Landon Donovan and David Beckham. But ever since that, Real Salt Lake looked really decent in their playoff run. They won it in 2009. They lost to Sporting Kansas City in 2013, being runners-up. They made it to the conference finals 3 times, quarterfinals of the conference, the Western Conference, 6 times, and they lost once in the round 1. But this is their second round 1 appearance, and that's against us on Sunday, Austin FC. But the thing is, Austin FC is going to have home field advantage against Real Salt Lake. And when we play against Real Salt Lake, it's always wins. Last year, we beat them 2-1 at home, in which Cecilio Dominguez scored the 2 goals. And last month, we beat them 3-0, in which Moussa Djitté again scored the hat-trick in club history. But let's not forget, Real Salt Lake is known for being an X team. An X team means they're a team full of surprises. A team that you don't expect them to be better in the last 10 to 15 minutes. Because, for example, last year, Real Salt Lake played Seattle Sounders in the first round of the 2021 MLS playoffs. Seattle Sounders had 21 shots on target, while Real Salt Lake had 0. They made it all the way to penalty kicks, as Real Salt Lake shocked the MLS as they beat Seattle Sounders in a 6-5 penalty kick decision, And ever since that, Real Salt Lake made it to the Western Conference Finals as they lost to Portland Timbers in a 2-1 score, thus, making them as an X team. Because we've seen this too before. When they played against us last month at Q2, Real Salt Lake looked so dominant that we didn't expect them to do a lot of surprising counterattacks. They know that our defense was the weakest link in that game, or in the entire last few games of the season. Because in that game, we didn't have rotations. We had the back 4, I believe it was Nick Lima, Galviesin, Cascante, and Gallagher. But I hope the 4 players in the back understand their mistakes against Real Salt Lake being an X team. Because since Real Salt Lake likes to be an X team, their attacking side has a lot of firepower. The 4 players I'm about to mention is something we have to look forward to on Sunday. The 4 players of Real Salt Lake are these 4 players. Jefferson Savarino has 7 goals and 4 assists to his name. Sergio Cordova has 9 goals and 1 assist. He leads the team with the most goals of 9. Justin Meran has 3 goals and 6 assists. He leads the team with the most assists with 6. And lastly, Michael Chang has 2 goals and 4 assists. So the thing is, how is Josh Wolf going to put out the back 4? Is it going to be a lot of rotations, or put out the strong 4 again? Because this is no time for experiments or rotations. This is the biggest game of our season. Well, one of the biggest games of our season is the playoffs. I would say start in the left back spot, obviously Gallagher, Cascante, Galviesin, and the biggest question, who should be in the right back spot? I would say put Hector Jimenez, because Hector Jimenez is a 3-time MLS champion. With him, Hector Jimenez can provide a lot of support on the offense. And let's say in the last 30 minutes or 20 minutes, we can put Nick Lima, that way he can support on the defense if Austin FC is winning. So I would say put Hector Jimenez on the offense for this game, on the right back, so he can provide a lot of support on the offense if we can make a lot of goals. And the biggest question is this: who's going to start in the 6? Is it going to be Danny Pereira or put Alex Ring? I would say put Alex Ring in the 6, because during his time with New York City FC, he knows what it's like to play in the playoffs. That time as well, he was a central defensive midfield player, so he provided a lot of defense for New York City back in his time. And that way we can put Pereira and Driussi in the 8, making us as an X team, a team full of surprises. Because for our trio, for our attacking side, Austin FC, the question is the striker and who's going to start on our right wing spot. We should leave Fagundes right there. He's perfect the way he is as a left wing this entire season. But the question is this: who's gonna start at number 9? Is it gonna be Urruti, Jite, or Hosen? I would say start Urruti because Urruti has scored 9 goals, but let's not forget he played with Portland Timbers, FC Dallas, and Houston Dynamo. But with FC Dallas and Portland Timbers, he made it to the playoffs with both of those teams. But the only team he won the MLS Cup was with Portland Timbers back in 2015. So I would say start Urruti, and let's see if Austin FC is suffering or struggling in the last minutes, put Jite again. That way he can provide a lot of damage like he did to Real Salt Lake last month when he scored the 3 goals. And the biggest question is this: the right wing spot. Simple. Finley played with Columbus Crew and Minnesota United. Those 2 teams he played with, he has experience in the playoffs. He's provided a lot of depth for us in the right wing spot ever since Cecilio Dominguez left. And he filled in that gap, and he stepped up and said, let me show you what a right wing player I am. And he did. He had a great season with us, being a backup right winger. Rigoni, he still needs more time. We haven't seen his full picture. Probably next season he's going to provide the full picture of Rigoni, but he has to be in the bench. And if Austin FC needs a lot of firepower, put him as a super substitution so he can bring in a lot of damage to Real Salt Lake. Because for the defense of Real Salt Lake, even though they made 7 plays and made it to the playoffs, the 4 players of the defense of Real Salt Lake are these 4 players. Andrew Brody leads the team with the most blocks, which is 55. Marcelo Silva has 20 tackles out of the 34 attempts, which is basically 59% of the dribble he's won. So let's say Jersey against him, Silva will win. Pablo Ruiz, 55 tackles of the 182 attempts. He leads the team with the most tackles, which is 59%. And Justin Glad leads the team with the most pressure, which is 35%. So I would say this is going to be pretty much back and forth match. A lot of defense, but if Austin FC scores first in the first half, let's say 2 goals in the first half, they should have this as an easy win due to the fact that Real Salt Lake likes to be an X team, a team that allows you to damage them, but with no damage done, they can do something to us in the last 10 to 15 minutes. But let's see what happens. Austin FC should get a 2-0 win here, make it the first victory in the club history to win a playoff game. But let's see what happens, you guys. I hope you all have a great time at the game. I'll be there, but for the meantime, I'll be back with a reaction video to the playoff game. I hope it's understandable. My name is Vanilla Mexican 17, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.